What's up, everybody? We are doing a new update on the whole Ukraine-Russia situation. It's getting worse. Things are escalating, unfortunately, and there seems to be no slowdown. I keep waking up to some terrible news over there, so we're gonna go over some bits and bobs as per like we have been doing, and kind of go over the situation and feel and do a little bit of talking at the end of it as well. As of right now, it is 3 p.m. on the 4th. As of recording this, so yesterday when you're watching this, on the East Coast. Actually, no, I'm Central US now. So Central US, 3 p.m. So yeah, I woke up this morning, and the big thing that was kind of all over the headlines was there is a nuclear power plant that Russia have been bombing or something like that. I don't know the ins and outs. We're gonna find out together, but it's kind of really scary. Like, it's really scary to wake up to stuff like that. So I was thinking today, I've seen all these horrible news, all this horrible news. The world has been kind of chaotic the past couple of years. I'm gonna start making videos on kind of more looking after yourself, on what to do, where to go, where to be, possible scenarios, how to look after your family, how to power your house, how to, all these different things, self-sustainability. I'm getting a lot of questions in the comments about how can I protect myself, how can I protect my family, and I don't mean through, picking up arms. I'm talking about like survival needs. So we're going to be going over some survival stuff, I think, in the near future, and doing some videos on that, because it seems like you guys want that. Obviously, I've done some extensive survival training in the Royal Marines. Not only that, now that I live a nomadic life, I've had to kind of figure out how to get water and power and all these different things that you take for granted when you live in a house, and people in Ukraine are certainly not taking for granted at the moment. I live in the US. It's a pretty comfortable place, but it's safe to say that things are escalating so much that everybody kind of needs to look after themselves now, right? So without further ado, let's pull up the summary as per. We'll go over some of this, and then we'll talk more about that, okay? Russia has banned Facebook, and now there are reports it has also blocked access to Twitter and YouTube. All Western companies, doesn't surprise me. No one from Russia is going to be watching this, I don't think, unless you're in the US or other countries. It's a way of stopping communication to Russian people, which really sucks, unfortunately. Russian attack on Europe's largest nuclear plant was reckless. The US tells an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. So we know this attack on a nuclear plant. I didn't know it was Europe's largest nuclear plant, which is scary. I heard that if it exploded, it would be 10 times worse than Chernobyl, which is really scary. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that near the end. By the grace of God, the world narrowly averted a nuclear catastrophe last night. Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield says, sheesh. I'm reading these now, and the more I read them, the more demoralized I get, and the more, like, heartbreaking I am reading these. And what else do I say apart from the fact that we could be on the brink of World War III? Like, right now. We in fact, World War III could have already started. Like, this could be just the start of it, and it's just going to escalate from here. Or it could completely die down. For me, personally, it's a big wake-up call. Pandemic. Nearly a World War III. The economy is disastrous. Politics in the Western countries is disastrous. All these different things makes me want to live my nomadic life even more and travel around until I find a safe spot for me and my family. I want to buy land and stay away from society, be self-sustainable, and power all my own things, get water from myself, and not need society. It would be nice to have it, but not need it. I think that's the safe route to go these days. You can probably tell in my voice, I'm really, like, down on all this stuff because it's getting worse. There doesn't seem any stopping, does there? Russian forces seized the plant after some buildings were hit by shelling, which Ukraine says led to deaths and injuries. Of course, more civvies dead, unfortunately. But Russia says there is no safety threat and insists it is untrue that the plant was fired upon. It could all be propaganda, right? I haven't physically seen pictures of the power plant going up. Someone could show it me, and I wouldn't even know if that was the correct power plant. I don't know anything about it. What I do know is there wouldn't be this much of a kerfuffle if there wasn't evidence that it was actually happening out there. So, it could all be fabricated from the West to make Russia look worse. But with this much of a kerfuffle and the amount of things I've seen online about it, makes me think that what did actually happen. International monitors say no radioactive material was released and the plant is safe. Well, that's good to know, but at the end of the day, they did it. If they did do it, there's no reason why they wouldn't do it again. At least 47 people were killed by Russian airstrikes in the northern city of Chernihiv. On Thursday, Ukraine says, again, more civvies dead in pointless war. Young people being put to war, while old people tell people what to do and use young people as pawns. 3 Russian commanders have been killed after moving closer to the front line, Western official says. I did see something about an assassination. It might be in this part. World narrowly averts nuclear catastrophe. Russia adds Twitter, and to the ban. Pianist plays for Ukrainians in the bomb shelter. Ukraine to sell NFTs to fund war against Russia. Oh my god. What is this world coming to? Facebook condemns Russia's ban for silencing millions. White House rebuffs senator who calls for Putin's assassination. Zelensky to Europe. All of you today are Ukrainians. I'm British and American, but okay. I don't get me wrong, I support Ukraine more than anything else right now, but I am not a Ukrainian. And I feel like saying everyone is Ukrainian kind of defeats the purpose, because we're here to support Ukrainians, right? They're the ones going through the hardship right now. Why is Russia invading Ukraine, and what does Putin want? Putin signs law on jail term for fake news. Interesting. This is a worry. Russian President Vladimir Putin has now signed into law a bill that punishes the spread of fake information about the country's armed forces with jail sentences up to 15 years. The bill was anonymously passed by Russian lawmakers on Thursday. Several independent Russian media outlets have been forced to close in recent days after describing as invasion or war what the Kremlin calls a special military operation. Yeah, sure, in Ukraine. Putin also signs another bill that would allow fines or jail terms for calling sanctions against Russia. This isn't a law against, fake news. What it is, it's a law against news he doesn't like. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Stability in Europe hangs in a balance. Stability in the world is already hanging on a balance. Hanging in the balance. It's already there. Prices for everything. This is going to affect the world. We're just getting out of a pandemic. This is going to affect everybody. Not as much as it affects Ukrainians, obviously, and other citizens from around that area. But it's going to affect everyone. This is going to change the world, just like the pandemic did. Blinken speaks in Brussels. Oil sanctions on Russia not off the table. Ukrainians returning home from Poland to aid war effort. Sheesh. Foreign student fleeing Ukraine for Hungary. I wanted to see more about the assassination, but I'm not seeing anything. Let's see if we can find it. I wanted to know more about the assassination and what. This is when it was all kicking off with the power plant. Come on, it's got to be around somewhere. Yeah, we're getting quite far back here. This is the nuclear plant. Radioactive waste storage. Oh my god. In fact, that's even a thing is scary in itself. Yeah, I can't see the assassination thing. Obviously, that's something that I would want to look at. Just because the assassination of commanders or officers are any important personnel of the Russian military is a big, big thing that obviously is overshadowed by the fact. Oh my god, is overshadowed by the fact that they've been bombing a nuclear plant, right? Yeah, it's all about the nuclear plant, which makes sense. Either way, that's some scary news right there. Some scary, scary news. Everything's been kind of overloaded by the fact that the power plant was bombed. Let's look at this map right here. So again, Russian advances here. We said this in this video yesterday. They're really pushing. Let me get this here. This spur here, they're really pushing that, and they're trying to get more people to Kiev. We've obviously got that big, long line of frigging troops trying to get in from Belarus to Kiev. It's like, what, 40 kilometers long, which is crazy. If they get into this territory, build their bases, they're going to take Kiev. It's inevitable, right? The big thing right now, for me, as someone living in the US, is potential nuclear war. Like, is this the start of a nuclear war? If Russia loses and they have to go on display and they admit that they're losing and it goes on display that they're losing, wouldn't surprise me if they start using nuclear weapons, because what else have they got to lose at that point, right? At the moment, they're saying that they're fine, they're okay, you know, there's nothing to worry about. But once they do start losing, which, you know, they might take Ukraine, they might try and take other countries, but inevitably, I think Europe would get involved. Nukes will go off, right? Unfortunately. And I think World War III is more on the brink. You know, I say this every video, right? I say we can go two ways, de-escalation or World War III. And every day I'm like, you know, I hope it de-escalates. And every morning I wake up to more escalation, right? We wake up to more scary things constantly every morning, bombarded by horrific news, which really sucks. We've already had a couple years now, and obviously I'm speaking as a British person living in America, right? We've got it cushy. No matter a 2-year pandemic, political unrest, and a war in Europe, we've got it kind of cushy, right? At the same time, it's going to affect everyone a lot, and you need to be prepared for that. I think no matter where you are in the country, I said in the last video, no matter where you are in Europe, have a plan B, maybe even a plan C. I think it's time for everyone to start having a plan B. I'm not a prepper. You know, if you don't know what that is, doomsday preppers, they store a lot of food and they kind of prep for the worst of the worst. Some of them even have bunkers and stuff like that. I find the videos fascinating, but that's not me. I think that is a good idea to some extent, especially after seeing the pandemic and stuff like that and how much resources got depleted. But I think the idea of being able to pick up and go is even more important these days. I really do. Being able to power your essentials, being able to get water, fresh water, and be able to just pick up and go and bug out no matter where you are is very important. It'd be nice if you had a homestead or somewhere you can grow your own food, but I think picking up, bugging out is essential these days. Essential. We've had nearly 3 years of craziness. Not as crazy as what it is in Ukraine right now, and I will never, you know, I'm not going to say that we've got it just as bad as them. They're in such a horrible situation that I can't even imagine to be in. My family get to stay safe every single night, and I'm so happy for that. But at the same time, seeing all this unrest makes me want to disappear. I'm going to start making videos on my bus, how I'm preparing to have other plans, how I'm, you know, living a nomadic life and happy to kind of, you know, drive it somewhere safe if we had to, how I'm powering my setup, how I'm getting running water, you know, how we're cleaning the water, all these different things that I think are something that you should be starting to think about. I'm not saying go out there, buy a bus converter like we did. I'm not saying you have to live a nomadic life, nor am I saying that you have to be a prepper and start storing food or toilet paper or anything like that. What I am saying is just start thinking about the direction the world's going in, right? Because I've not seen it go anywhere but down and get worse and worse and worse in the past 3 years. So have a plan, guys. Have a plan. Members, you're beautiful. Look at you. Scrolling past the screen, helping support the channel as much as you do. You're beautiful, beautiful people. I really do appreciate you. Links down below to all my socials if you want to contact me, Twitter and Instagram if you've got more questions about survival and stuff like that, and my plans. If anything does kick off in the US, you can always comment and tweet at me, or, you know, DM me. And if you want to see more videos on that, let me know in the comment section down below. If you want your question answered, pop it in the comment section down below. Other than that, guys, stay safe. If you're in Europe, if you're in Ukraine, please, for the love of God, stay safe. Kiss your family. Take care of the children. Take care of the elderly. And get to safety, guys. Please, please get to safety. I don't want to see these numbers rising even more. Inevitably, they will. But don't let it be you. All right, guys. Until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.